June 19, 2000. The U.S. National Archives and Records Administration, NARA, declassifies 90% of a report kept top secret for 41 years. Its code name, Project A119. The document confirms a 1959 U.S. military plan. Detonate a 1.7 megaton nuclear bomb on the Moon. The blast would hurl a massive dust cloud high above the lunar surface. That cloud would be visible to the naked eye from Earth. Its sole purpose, intimidate the Soviet Union. One junior researcher on the classified team? Carl Sagan. The astronomer who would later become the global face of peaceful, scientific space exploration. October 4, 1957. The Soviet Union launches Sputnik. The first artificial satellite in human history. The blow destabilizes the United States entirely. For the first time, American power lags behind on a strategic battlefield that is both scientific and military. January 23, 1958. The U.S. Air Force's Air Research and Development Command, ARDC, launches a top-secret project. Its cover name, Lunar Research Flight Study. Its classified designation, Project A119. The Air Force taps Leonard Reiffel, a physicist at the Illinois Institute of Technology, to lead the project. His team numbers roughly 10 researchers. One of them is Carl Sagan, then a young PhD candidate. His assignment, model how lunar dust would spread after a high-energy blast. Every detail here is confirmed by the U.S. National Archives. Record Group 342. ARDC Project A119 files. Two official versions of the story exist. They are separated by 64 years. The first dates to August 15, 1959, just days after the project was cancelled. ARDC spokesman Colonel John Taylor releases a clear official statement: Project A119 was a purely scientific study of lunar geology, with no military applications whatsoever. No mention of a nuclear bomb. No mention of psychological warfare. No mention of any strategic objective. The second official version comes on March 22, 2023. Kathy Lueders, head of NASA's Artemis program, issues a public update. All Artemis lunar missions are exclusively dedicated to peaceful scientific exploration. Again, no reference to military applications. No connection drawn to the original strategic framework of Project A119. The U.S. government first claims Project A119 was purely scientific. But the 1959 declassified final report contradicts that claim. That report is catalogued as NARA FOIA case number 99-0123. It includes two explicit sections. One is titled Psychological Warfare Effectiveness. The other, Strategic Observation Post on the Moon. Leonard Reiffel, the project's lead scientist, even confirmed this fact under oath. The year is 2000. He testifies before the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. Next, NASA claims all Artemis lunar missions are exclusively dedicated to peaceful exploration. But the 2023 payload manifest for Artemis 3 tells a different story. That document comes directly from NASA. It includes the U.S. Space Force's navigation technology satellite The-3, known as NTS-3. The satellite is designed to test military navigation in cislunar space. That is a direct military application. And it ties directly to the original strategy of Project A119. The paper trail begins with a classified official memo, dated January 23, 1958. The memo is stored in the U.S. National Archives, Record Group 342, ARDC Project A119 files. It frames Project A119 explicitly as a lunar study for military and psychological purposes. According to Leonard Reiffel, testifying under oath before the U.S. House of Representatives in 2000, Project A119 had two clear goals. First, demonstrate U.S. nuclear superiority after Sputnik. Second, test nuclear weapons in the vacuum of space. August 12, 1959. General Bernard Schriever cancels Project A119. His official memo lists radioactive fallout as the reason. But former ARDC analyst John McPhee tells the * Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists * in 2010 that the real motive was fear of a Soviet retaliatory strike on the Moon. The declassified final report contains 12 redacted pages. Those pages carry two formal titles: Lunar Surface Contamination and Secondary Military Applications. In 2022, NORA rejects a request from the * National Security Archive * to unlock those redacted pages. The agency cites national security concerns related to space weapons as its justification. Here's what the documents actually prove. Project A119 was no idle Cold War fantasy. It was an operational test for dominating cislunar space, the narrow, high-stakes zone between Earth and the Moon. Carl Sagan's role sharpens the unspoken tension. The young junior researcher, tasked with modeling lunar dust dispersion, would later become the global face of peaceful space advocacy. Yet he worked on a nuclear psychological warfare weapon. The available evidence suggests the 12 redacted pages cover orbital space weapons testing. In 1958, the ARDC also ran Project Orbiter, the direct precursor to NASA, and parallel studies of nuclear-armed satellites. 2019. The U.S. Space Force releases its official doctrine, *Space Power Star. The document uses verbatim language from the unredacted sections of Project A119's final report. Phrases like control of the lunar domain and a denial of adversary access to cislunar space appear word for word. Today, that strategy is no longer a classified secret. It is the unvarnished reality of the 2024 US-China space race. 2020. China launches Chang'e 5, a lunar sample return mission. The US-led Artemis Accord systematically barred China from any formal role in lunar resource development. The Artemis 3 payload manifest includes the U.S. Space Force's Navigation Technology Satellite 03, or NTS-3. The satellite is purpose-built to test military navigation in cislunar space. This is the exact strategic application outlined in Project A119. No Project A119 official has ever faced formal scrutiny or legal action. The project was classified for 41 years. Its core strategy has been embedded in the U.S. Space Force's official doctrine since 2019. The 12 redacted pages remain censored as of 2024. No detailed justification for the secrecy has been provided. Project A119 was never a peaceful geological study. It was a secret nuclear plan to dominate the Earth-Moon space corridor. That same strategy is now embedded in the Artemis program. It is also codified in the U.S. Space Force's official doctrine. As of 2024, 10% of the Project A119 final report remains censored. The U.S. government cites national security as the only justification. If 65-year-old research still demands top-secret classification, one question burns brighter than ever. What space weapons is the U.S. truly developing in cislunar space? Subscribe so you don't miss what comes next.